Tara and Andy's film reviews on OurGamers.co.uk.
So it is time once again for another film review. Welcome, it's Tara Malik here and...
me, Andy Baines.
And this week we're talking Pacific Rim Uprising. The film is 12A. Director Stephen S. DeKnight. You've got starring this John Boyega, that was quite nice. Scott Eastwood, Cailee Spaeny as well. It is genre-wise an action-adventure sci-fi. Running time is an hour and 51 minutes, so not as long as I thought it would be. And definitely not as long as how the first one felt. If you can recall that one.
You didn't like that one, did you?
It was... my hopes were like, they were up, and then I saw it and they were like flop. So that's how it was with the first one. The idea of it, yay, and the CGI, yay, and the dragginess, boo. It just really felt like the first one dragged out. I don't know, how are you checking how long the first one was? Let's see.
2 hours.
Oh my god. So there's extra 20 minutes right there. 2 hours and 11 minutes, I think it said. Never mind. It felt really long in parts in the first one. So that's what kind of put me off. But anyway, so when the second one, this one came out, I was like, let's see. I mean, the trailer looked right, but I know how much in places it bored me in the first one, so we'll see. But I was pleasantly surprised. So the film is about this. Jake Pentecost, son of Stacker Pentecost, reunites with Meiko Mori to lead a new generation of Jaeger pilots, including rival Lambert and 15-year-old hacker Amara, against the new kaiju threat. I do like what the baddies were like in this one.
Yes.
I really like what they did there and gave it a fresh twist and stuff. So let's get into story and script, Andy. What have you got?
I thought it started off right. The story, you know, it was trying... we know the gist of the story from the previous one.
Exactly.
And it did kind of do well, so I'm not really complaining about the story. It wasn't too long, as you're saying, so
yeah,
it did have a nice twist, as you say.
Yeah,
some things were different.
yeah.
They mixed it up a bit, which was nice.
And also, it's...
and the trailer didn't spoil.
No, that's a good thing as well. That was another thing. Like, when we saw the trailer, I was like, oh, I bet that is literally all the action that you'll find in the film. And they've just bunged it all together into the trailer. So you'll have, like, pretty much 2 hours of meh, 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 and then that little bit of action that you saw in the trailer, that will be your one little scene of action. And it wasn't like that at all. I'm glad to say I did find it a lot better than the first one. There was good spacing of action and escalation and an overall good pace as well, so not like the first where it did feel long and dragged out. There was a decent plot with this one, how they established the start as well, how many years later it is, and what's happened since then, so that was quite interesting. There were a few funny moments as well, so the scripted delivery was quite good. Love the twists and issues. And then I just have a note saying, ugh, ew, gross. So at some point, and I think I know which one it is. Yeah, ew, gross. So, but yeah, as a story overall, I really liked it, what they did.
Just thinking about ew, gross bit from the first film. It's the first film explained a lot more about the monsters, I guess.
Yes.
The kaiju, so...
oh, and
maybe that's why it's a bit longer.
Something worth mentioning. They kind of left it... I mean, they wrap it up, obviously, in this film, but they have kind of left it in a way that they could possibly make a third one. And considering how much better they've done with this one, I would gladly see a third one. If they make that story really good, put some twists in there, because, you know, gotta love a twist, then, yeah, I'd be quite happy to see a third one. So that's that one. Action and CGI. Well, as we said, action brilliant throughout this film. I absolutely loved it. Nice CGI as well. Can't complain. Really good fight scenes. They did well with building things up and being more tense than the previous fight, which is always good. The last thing you want...
quite well done, because the first fight was quite a big sort of epic fight as well.
Yeah, that's the thing.
They've done a good job with that.
Yeah. So, like, there's always something that slightly changes and you find something else new, and then that happens, and then you got the big thing at the end, and it's so they did really well having each fight scene being its own thing and being the biggest thing at the time, and then the next fight scene came along and it was like, wow, my gosh, that blows the other one out of the water, but the other one was good too. So they did a really good job, because as I said, the last thing you want is a build up and then a bit of a flop in energy and fight towards the end, which is because it's supposed to all build up and get to that climactic point. So well done, hats off for that one. I was quite happy with that. I think what can be said about this film is I'm just so happy with it because you knew from the start that I wasn't that optimistic about it. You know, I tried to go in like not prejudging it too much, but I couldn't help because of the first one and because of seeing the trailer and just thinking to myself, I bet you that's all the action you're going to get, and that is all in the trailer. And it's not. There's so much more in here. And it's a good story as well. It's a good story, so I'm quite happy. Anything else you want to add to...
Oh, just that, as you said, the action was great throughout. It kept escalating. The shots done really well. And if we're mentioning CGI, obviously CGI looks spot on. They've done a really good job of it. It did look like giant robots and giant kaiju having a fight.
Yeah, exactly. I know. The stakes were high. Music and sets is the next section. So good tense music. It was menacing as well, which is really good, very fitting. I have to admit, now thinking back, it's nothing necessarily memorable. I couldn't tell you what it sounded like at all, but it was just really effective at the time. All I know is that, but I could not tell you right now any of the notes.
I've got to know about music kicking in during a montage of stuff like that. It's little bits like that where actually just get it right.
Yeah. So I'm happy with the music.
The sounds of the monsters and the mechs and stuff sound great.
I know. And I love the vulnerability. I know that's got nothing to do with the music and set section, but I like how vulnerable they made the mechs this time as well. It wasn't just the mechs will turn up and save the day. There's a lot more involved with this one. I enjoyed the end credits music as well. I just wrote tune, so I was quite happy with that. And nice sets. So all in all, happy days.
Yep.
I believe that means we're moving on to the random section. What have you got?
You and the rest of the audience giggled once or twice.
Yeah.
So it is. Yeah, it was good. Everyone's like spirits already.
Yeah, it's like little light-hearted bits here and there just to break it up.
The lead was a little bit typecast. If we're going to mention that.
Oh yeah.
And there's a couple of returning cast. We're quite happy for that.
Yeah.
And it was a tad too unbelievable.
Well, yeah.
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 You're going to see giant mechs, Jaegers or things, and giant monsters and kaiju and stuff like that. But I can't remember what it was now, but I made a note of saying a tad too unbelievable. I
just went with the flow, my friend. I just went with it. I think I know the bit you might be referring to. Because I thought,
I'm looking forward to watching it again, though.
Just nah. Yeah, I am as well, actually. My random. Oh, the destruction. I just feel so sorry for the people who have to clean all that mess up. Both in that world.
They're contractors. They're making loads of money out of it.
And in the real world. But just like, no, if you're thinking, not only like
you think of people
in the real world, I mean like in the film, in the story, if you just imagine all of these cities, just all of that destruction. It's the same with like in Rampage, which will be a future review that will be coming out soon. Stay tuned.
And you played the original game?
Yes, I did. I sucked at it, but hey. But yeah, it's just every time I see something like this, I just think, gosh, that's such a mess. How do you pick up from that? Anyway, that's a random I've got. And then I just keep pulling loads of faces. I noticed at one point I was just contorting my face into the weirdest things just because of the reaction to what was going on the screen. And it just makes me think of Titanfall games so much. I can't help it. Oh, there go my notes. So yeah.
That's it at the end.
That's it. I know my rate, so I don't need to look at my notes for that one. Well, here's the thing. I'm a little bit surprised. I know we're a teeny bit late with this review, just because we had so many other films to get out ASAP. So I don't know what initially the rate was. The rate's a bit lower than I expected. It's a 5.8, and I'm actually going to give it an 8. Purely because my hopes were not high for this film. And the first one, it was okay. It wasn't great. So again, as I said, didn't expect much out of this one. I thought what they showed in the trailer is the only action you'll see in the film, but no, that's not the case. The pace is brilliant throughout. The story is great. The action is fantastic. The build up to it's great. The CGI is good. The cast did really well. I love the little funny moments here and there. And I'm actually looking forward to a third. That says something. When they made the first, I didn't want a second, but they made up for it. So I'm looking forward to a third. So that's why I'm going to stick with my guns and I'm going to give it an 8. What are you going to give it?
I've got 6/7 written down. I'm probably going to go for...
Maybe I was just like 2. Hey.
7.
You're going to go for a 7?
Yep.
Cool. Otherwise that would have been quite a discrepancy there, wouldn't it? And it's just, I'm in mood today, so I'm just going to give it a 6. And I'm like, oh, happy days, the sun's out. I'm going to give it an 8. So, no, I thought it was pretty good. And I can totally understand and agree with your 7 as well. So
thank you.
I think that is all. So that is it for this film review. As I said, we've got quite a few exciting ones on the way for you very soon. Rampage will be out soon as well, so make sure to stick around for that one. But for now, ta-ra. See you later.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks to Cineworld Festival Leisure Park Basildon for the best experience around.